Hello, artists. We're going to talk about color combinations so that you can get a really good result from your acrylic pour. All right, so let's start with the color wheel real fast. Red is a primary color, yellow is a primary color, and blue is a primary color. We have orange by combining red and yellow. We have blue by we have green by combining blue and yellow. We have violet or purple by combining red and blue. Okay, the groups that we're going to talk about in this video are analogous. And analogous colors are sets of 3 colors that are close to that are right next door to each other on the color wheel. Like, for example, red, orange, and yellow. That is an analogous set of colors. It also happens to be the warmest colors on the color wheel, but we're not thinking about that right now. Orange, yellow, and green, another set of analogous colors. We're going to talk about all 6 sets quickly, and then we're going to talk about some combinations or colors that you don't want to layer right next to each other in your pour. Okay, so this one is an example of red, orange, and yellow. See most of the red over here. The orange is a big portion of the middle, but there are some nice stripes of red going through there. And the yellow is over here. It's kind of mixing in with some gold. I do have gold and silver that you can use as an accent, because sometimes the metallic can just really add something. I also used white, and I also used a tiny bit of black, and we see it mostly over here under the bottom, or underneath the red and orange, and some of the white. So anyway, there is yellow. It's mostly through here, and it's kind of mixing in with the orange, and it's really hard to see unless you look very close up. So if you're going to use yellow, you want to use more. And another example of that is in orange, yellow, and green, which we already talked about. That's an analogous combination that you can use. Sometimes, though, orange and green can get together and make this strange kind of gray, brownish gray color. And when you add white to it, sometimes it's more unpleasant. Some people just don't like that color. There's less of it in this one. It kind of does a cool thing in this one, but we have some bright orange and some bright green, but the yellow is just barely visible in here, but it's there. And there's a tinier bit of yellow in this one, but it is there. We can see it a little bit. So you got to be careful with orange is a very super strong color. Yellow is a very weak color. And actually, I did this one after this one with the leftovers from this one because I put too much paint in the cup. I didn't add any more orange, but I added a lot of yellow and kind of a medium amount of green, because green can get overwhelmed too. But we can see a suggestion of the orange, and we've got some neat colors going on up there where the orange and the green kind of combine to make some kind of smoky colors. I'm digging this This is my favorite part, besides that part. But we can kind of see a hint of the orange, but we get more yellow and more green. And I think I like the motion in this one, but I think this one overall so far is my favorite. This one's not quite dry. There's some kind of slightly wet area there in the middle. This one's a little bit wetter, because when it's shiny in the middle, don't touch it. But because it'll leave a big, humongous fingerprint and there's no way you can fix it. So yellow weak, orange very strong, be careful. Oops, almost dropped that one on the floor. Okay, we'll move those out of the way. Our next combination, yellow, green, and blue. And we're going to start to see that blue is a super strong color. I think I used about equal amounts of blue, green, and yellow in the cup, and blue takes over. This is really pretty, and I love this area over here. We can see some green showing up and a little bit of the yellow peeking through in those little veins and in that blob right there, and some yellow and green poking through there. But blue, another really strong color, be very careful with it. If you want to use blue and yellow together, more yellow, less blue, or more green, less blue, because blue is just going to take over, and you're going to see more of that in a sec. Okay, our next combination, green, blue, and violet. This one turned out so well. At first I wished I could see more of the green, but now that it's dry, I totally love this one. This is one of my favorite ones. And you can see some cells in here. I'm going to bring some stuff that will help you create cells. And I'll show you how to use that when we're working. But I used less blue in this one because I learned a lesson from this one. I used less blue. I used about equal amounts of green and purple. And some white. Those were the only 4 colors I used. Green, blue, purple, and white. That's all. And you don't have to use a lot of colors to get something really, really beautiful. So that's that one. Okay, here again, blue is really, really strong. I did this one first. This is red, blue, violet, and red. The red has a hard time showing up, and we can barely see any purple in this one. There's some red peeking through on this side. I like this one, but I wanted to see more purple and more red. I tried it again with the red, blue, and violet, and I'm getting more purple showing up, and oh, these cool cells, those, yeah, and I used the same colors, red, violet, and blue, and white. But I really like how this one turned out. It's really nice. But I used more purple, less blue, and kind of a medium amount of red. If I wanted more red, I needed to put some more red in there. Because blue is so strong. So be careful with the blue, and be careful with the orange so far. And this is our last color combination, violet, red, and orange. So this one, some people don't like with the yellow and the green. That makes that kind of olivey green browny color that some people really don't like. Again, the orange on the purple makes kind of that dark brownish color. Some people don't like that. Some people love it. In this case, I'm kind of loving it because it makes some nice deep dark colors that contrast with the bright orange and the bright red and the pure orange over here and that lavender. The white mixing with the purple and the white and the yellow right there and right here. So all I used in this was orange, red, purple, and white. I used more purple, I used more red, and less orange, but even so, the orange takes over. So from these examples, we know that be cautious with the following colors. Blue, be cautious with blue. Be cautious with orange. Another color to be cautious with, because it's, all of these are very concentrated, I think, but black is another color to be very, very careful with. You can use it, but use it cautiously. So be cautious with those colors. And you can use these colors together. Okay, complementary colors. You can use these colors together, but don't put them right next to each other, because you'll get that, you'll get worse, that browny, gross color. Complements, oops, put that over here. Complements are directly across from each other on the color wheel. So red and green, don't put those next to each other. You can use red and green in the same pour, but don't put them one on top of the other. Orange and blue, and yellow and violet. So they're direct opposites from each other on the color wheel. Don't stack these to stack right on top of each other. Because you'll get that really gross grayish brown kind of color. Okay, be cautious with blue, orange, and black. Complementary colors, don't stack them right on top of each other. Yeah, I think that's okay. Yeah, that's it. Be cautious with blue, orange, and black. So that means you're going to have to use, if you use these colors with other colors, you're going to have to use more of the other colors to kind of balance it out. All right, so let me know if you have questions. I can't wait to see what you do. And so move on to the next video on how to pour your colors together and how to put it on your canvas. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.